Welcome to Sneaky Athletic, your favorite podcast.
Sports adjacent audio forum.
Potato.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Chandler Farmer.
Alec Hensley.
And this week we have our regular segments: beef, lifestyle, what the feed, beef for the week, lifestyle tip, what the feed. Google this. I have an SAP MDB, little movie database. We'll maybe touch on the NHL. Maybe we'll feel it out. Definitely UFC and some NBA because it is back.
Mm-hmm.
Sports, we're right on the cusp. We're right there, which is very exciting for us.
We've made it all the way down the sleeve, and we are on the cusp.
Yes. The cuff?
That was the joke.
Okay.
Yep.
So before we get started, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our boys up there, Fertilizer Service Company up there in Northwest Missouri. They're supplying you with all of your fertilizer needs. Everything from planting to harvest, they got you covered. So if you need them, hit them up at 660-686-2402. They're off Highway 59 in Fairfax, Mo. And as you know, they're keeping God's country as good as she grows. All right, let's get started.
My heart, my soul, I gave it all, but loving you was never easy.
All right, man, how was your weekend?
You know we live together.
I know, but we do things separately. Like a lot of the time, how was your past week? Because I don't actually see you during the week.
It was, last week was good, I guess, yeah. It was, wild in the news and everything, but for me personally, I did all right. I can't complain.
I can't either.
I was like,
that's a very white thing to say, though. Not like as in compared to that, but like not trying to compare to the protests and things like that. But just if you ask the average white person like how they're doing at work, they're like, "Oh, can't complain,
living the dream."
Yeah, living the dream.
Yeah, I'm living in
and then
hell.
It's just that it's just the go-to.
Absolutely,
always got that one. Living the dream is always like in the holster with the strap
ready
undone.
To go.
Yeah, like hammer cock, like ready. Like I got that one to fire off. If I don't know what to say to you, like if I don't know you at all, that's always a go-to.
I can shoot off 25 living the dreams at a dinner party like Steph Curry warming up. Baby.
Yeah.
Just
I can shoot
swish.
I can shoot off a living the dream from the tunnel.
Oh,
like I can just hit that shit
easy
at the buzzer. No questions
Silky
asked.
Smooth. How was your weekend?
It was good. We played a bunch of disc golf. It was like nice weather. It was a little too hot, but
it was toasty.
Yeah, once again went to the farmer's market. Enjoyed
Milk
that.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah.
We had some people almost go down. We almost lost a brother out there.
We did. Whenever I turned around and he was visibly panting over.
Yeah.
And sweat was coming out of every orifice profusely. Like it was the overflow of a dam.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be
not the overflow. It was like the breaking of a dam.
Well, this was early on. This was before the whole back drench.
Yeah, when I knew it was over was when the shirt changed colors completely. Mm-hmm. It looked like one of those. I've been seeing them on my Instagram feed. Is the shorts that change color with temperature? It looked like one of those, or like the cup, or
like
the
a
spoon.
kitty cup. Yeah,
yeah. Like you poured ice water in it and it completely changed colors. It's just like all of a sudden we hit a certain point and the back of his shirt was a completely different shade than like it was when we started.
Stay hydrated, folks.
Yeah, we made it through.
Yeah.
Persevered, and we're here to Monday.
And we're here to tell you how to improve your life. So, what's your lifestyle tip?
Patience is a virtue. Sports are almost back. We've waited. We've complained a lot.
Yes.
Because that's our nature. But we've been patient. We really haven't been.
Well, we like to hear ourselves talk, so of course we complain.
Nobody's really been that patient, but we've been patient enough. We've held off, and we're about to be rewarded with arguably, there's going to be a lot of weird things and everything, but September is lining up to be one of the best sports months in a lifetime. We're going to have baseball playoffs, hockey playoffs, basketball playoffs, football regular season, and golf tournaments.
Yeah.
All line up, and UFC is going to continue going right through the middle of that. Every weekend is just going to be a smorgasbord. I'm probably going to buy cable.
I haven't thought about that all pieced together like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot my head will be spinning.
Like we're going to have to buy an extra TV and get cable because it's just, there's going to be so much going on. Yeah, it's a burden, honestly.
I'm going to have to sit on my couch for that long.
Yeah, I know.
Oof.
So-
Mine's a little bit more serious,
Okay.
unfortunately. So I saw this online the other day, and it was something that I hadn't thought of at all, but I was like, damn, that is pretty good tip. Could be used by a lot of people. So obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and cops are really busy.
They are.
Parents be on the lookout. Predators are using this time to strike, and understand that.
Oh, man, I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow. This is the classic, I don't know, my brain works like this, but in a small town, we had grew up, there's 4 cops in the whole
Mhm.
town. And whenever there would be something going on at the interstate and you see all 4 cops go out and you're like, oh shit, nobody's in town, no cops in town, you just speed down Main Street. In this case, it's just pedophiles or yeah, they're out there and then they speed down the interstate of trying to get to your kids. Kind of sad.
What a metaphor.
Just the way that's a look inside my brain. I don't know.
I'm going to let that one marinate,
Yeah.
and I'll go ahead and go into my beef. Because,
Yeah, what are you mad about?
Good God. I think you need a break after that. Woof. All right.
I'm going to go in timeout.
Meat and tortilla tacos. I saw this multiple times last week, and it is specifically when it is just these 2 ingredients. No cheese, no taco sauce, no lettuce, no lime, no cilantro, no onion, none of that.
That's nothing. So air? They're
It
eating
is
air?
the worst delivery system. Why not get a burrito? Why not do literally anything else with this? Nachos. Come on.
So you're saying, yeah, just meat, cheese, tortilla?
It's just terrible. Live your life better. Tacos are such a fantastic food, and you're disgracing them.
Tacos can be improved in so many ways. They just constantly get better, I think. The more things you add.
Well. Sometimes less is more.
Depending.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the beef that's inside the tacos
Yes.
alone, my beef.
Way
This
to
is-
bounce back. Good transition.
This is really just a cry for help.
Mm.
And I need anybody who knows a solution. Please DM me anything. Send me an email. I have beef with how I wake up every single morning sweaty. Over the last probably 2 weeks, I either wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning and I haven't gotten a great night's sleep and I'm just steaming hot and I don't know what to do. There's a factor of our rooms are a little toasty, but I have 2 fans full blast on me. I don't use a comforter anymore. I just use a blanket and I don't know what to do. Is there something I can buy?
You're going to want to get a metal bucket, about 5 gallons.
Okay.
Put some ice in it.
Not 6 or 4.
No. It depends on your bed size, to be
Okay.
honest with you. Put some ice in it. Fill it to the brim.
Got it.
Let it melt.
I'm writing this down.
Pour it on your bed. Wake up in the morning. Is it water? Is it sweat? You don't know.
So like an inside out waterbed.
Correct.
Okay. So a waterbed I've already thought
Constantly
of.
coated.
Yeah, I've thought about just getting a waterbed because it's going to be the water is going to stay cooler. So that if I'm laying right on top of that instead of a mattress.
Can you cool water beds? I bet there are beds that are made that way. They have beds that heat in
So
specific areas.
I think maybe Sleep Number makes a bed that'll cool. I think I'm just going to have to get do they make the opposite of a heated blanket?
I think that's actually Sleep Letter that does that.
Okay. Do they make the opposite of a heated blanket though?
I
Do
doubt
they make
it.
a cooling one?
I think the concept of a blanket is kind of contradictory.
I need something on top of me, but I don't want to warm me up. I'm in I'm in this pickle, and I can't figure out, like, because I tried sleeping without a blanket and I just can't fall asleep.
I'm just kind of stuck on the words. I need something on top of me, but not something
I need a cover
to warm me up.
Yes. It's like I need a weighted blanket that also cools me as I sleep. See the predicament I'm in right now?
I guess. No.
I need help. Somebody help me. Please.
Show me some people on the internet who need help. I'm tired of you.
You might know him. He goes by the name Malik Monk. He was
I know of him.
He was in news. So I don't know if you remember this. It kind of, I like feel like I remember this, but I'm not sure. And it kind of just got swept under the rug with everything that's happened this year. It's not even like top 100 news. So he got suspended from the NBA for violating their substance abuse policy or their drug policy. He was busted. I don't know if he tested positive. I think he just tested positive for cocaine use. I had
White
no
lightning.
clue. Well, he's been officially reinstated.
It doesn't really matter.
And it was just like, for me, it was just the most like news dump thing of like the NBA, like everybody, you're not just, he's been participating in team events and everything. And it's like the NBA is like, we're back. And they're like, oh yeah, here, a little side note. It's like dropping something the Friday before the Super Bowl. Like nobody's trying to consume like an NBA trade that happened the Friday before the Super Bowl. It's like nobody's trying to consume him coming back into the league when it's like, oh, we're trying to figure out this new playoff format.
I mean,
but I had no clue that he was suspended for cocaine use.
Yeah, it kind of is something to be looked over, but the alternative is if it's a per game suspension, the alternative to it is
He would have already served that.
no. If he was already suspended, they just reinstated him. So we haven't played any games. So if it was per game, he hadn't knocked off that tally. That means he would have been suspended still until next year.
Yeah.
So
because they didn't make the playoffs.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Another short topic on that is the NBA did announce that they will be continuing drug tests for performance enhancing supplements, but they are not going to drug test for recreational drugs. So smoke them if you got them, NBA, because now's the time.
What if I take steroids recreational?
What if you smoke steroids?
Sure. All right.
Yeah, I think you're more than welcome to. Like, what if I just casually blood dope for fun? What if you're blood doping with blood that has THC in it, but maybe just a little steroids too? You don't know about the steroids.
But you know about the weed.
Yeah, which is they're not testing for.
It's an interesting predicament that you put this person in where they tested positive for one of those substances, but not the other.
Well, they would be tested for steroids, but then they'd be like, well, I wasn't switching them, which would be the weirdest way to consume THC ever. Like just do an edible or smoke some weed.
I don't think it wouldn't do anything.
If it was in your bloodstream?
No. Because even after you smoke, it's in your bloodstream.
Yeah, I guess I'm not a weedologist. I don't know, man. It's just the first example I could think of.
So I am, because I knew that one question.
Yeah.
I've watched some TV shows, man.
You're on the web looking up some factoids. What is your what the feed?
I do have factoids. So my what the feed is a little factoid I found on the web. It is about another form of sports, esports. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is the name of the game. And they had an online tournament where a player participated. And he was banned later because they found out sorry, I guess that kind of gives it away. It was a women's only tournament, and they found out he played.
Did he have any motivation behind this? Was he I was assuming it was intentional, and he was trying to go out and prove something, do something, or
I mean, you won $1,000.
Okay. So he thought he could just go in and did he win?
Whoa, sorry, $1,000 prize pool, $600 for first place. So you have to video call in to talk to them. So I guess that they know a little bit of them.
So basically this guy was like, oh, I'll just go in, dominate all these girls, all these ladies. I hope he lost too. On top of all of it, like they didn't catch him till afterwards and he didn't even like place top 3.
He's a professional player.
What the fuck?
So this website's really bad, and I kind of like left it earlier because I thought it ended after this Twitter advertisement.
Oh, there's a bunch of pop-ups and shit.
Yeah, but it says that they're probably going to ban him from his professional team.
Damn.
Seems right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems fair. That's just the dumbest thing. Why would he think esports is everywhere? Like I'm sure there were 4 other tournaments he could have gone in that he would have been eligible for.
He knew that he was going to have to live stream
for
himself.
$600 and you're a professional gamer. That just doesn't seem worth it at all.
Maybe he's from another country and American currency is more.
Still, I don't know if there's the tag of professional gamer. I don't know. It just seems to me that there's other avenues where you could go for $600 and not risk losing your like title.
I think of a person who would just go ahead and do that and take that opportunity away from girl gamers. You have to think that it's like taking candy from a baby. Like you have to be kind of an asshole.
He's probably, yeah. That's what I was asking at first. I was like, was he like vindictive? Like I'm assuming he was like, this will be easy. I'll dominate them. It'll get some laughs from my friends, and then I'll just clean up and I'll get out of here.
I think so. I
And
think
like,
that he just thought he was going to skate free and it was going to be a easy win.
Well, joke's on him because it's all over. I don't know. That just doesn't, to me, that doesn't make sense. If you are a professional, why you would try to like pull one over on somebody?
I think it's really funny that all of the comments are defending him.
Well,
Yeah, that's the
not
internet
very
for
shocking.
you. But to give you more interesting things I found on the internet this week, I can go right into my Google this.
Have at it.
And honestly, you can just double up and go into your SAP MDB because mine is about movies.
Okay.
If you want to go back to back here. So mine is about movie splicing, where they take one scene and they'll film it multiple different ways.
Yeah.
For example, 2000 American Psycho, Detective Kimball acted in 3 different ways. In this episode, he knew Bateman was the killer. He only suspected he was the killer, and he did not suspect him. And then whenever they actually put the film out, they cut all 3 of those together. So it was super hard to tell what he was actually thinking. Another example of that is in Juno. Whenever Jason Bateman was slow dancing with her, they wanted to take one with like shy chemistry, one with like friendly casual, and one with like extremely sexual. And so they did that.
Piece them together.
Yeah. I never knew that they did that, and especially with like such variances to like really fool you.
Yeah. I do know this, maybe not 100% similar, but I know in whichever Star Wars it is where, spoiler alert, Darth Vader reveals that he's Luke Skywalker's father. They actually changed the line
in the script
script so that they acted a different way and then put it out, that way. Like, I think it's just some of the genius behind directors of what they're just trying to get what they want out of the actor. And so they make them do it a certain way.
Hey, it's most of the job.
Yeah.
Few jobs do you get paid for yelling at people like that.
Executive chef. Professional coach.
What you got for us on your Google This and SAP MDB?
So my Google This is a little bit of information drop. This is kind of related to everything we're dealing with. I sent you this earlier. So the World Health Organization has dropped today. This is big news. Exactly. Who are you? Who? I do really want to know. So they dropped today that the asymptomatic spread of coronavirus is very rare. And they've actually used data not only from the United States to help do this because they are the World Health Organization, but they've been using the contact tracing that a lot of other countries are doing, and they're tracing symptomatic and asymptomatic people.
Good for optometrists.
And they, yeah, very good.
I didn't know that contacts were making that big of a comeback.
They are. They never left, actually. Glasses are in the dust, the thing of the past.
Paying to see.
And they are noticing that asymptomatic people are not spreading the coronavirus. Like
what?
they're noticing that it's very rare that people who would test positive but are not showing any symptoms, so that is basically anyone around our age and is healthy, but it will test positive, is not spreading the coronavirus onto, like, directly spreading it to other people.
Wow.
Yeah. But there are, I mean, people who are testing positive and are showing symptoms and are going out are.
And this is like early on?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, it's put out by the World Health Organization today. CNBC wrote an article. That's how I found it. But it's crazy how much things have changed since this first came out, and but it was just a straight up lack of information. And now that they're sitting here and they're able to gather more information every day, they're getting much more accurate. And I think this is great for everyone. I don't think it's going to lead to like things as far as sports fans being at games anytime soon, but I definitely think it's going to lead to, major reopening of businesses and things like that.
Since the beginning of time, humans have been learning along the way.
Yeah, evolution.
Yeah, just lack of information has always been our problem, but that's awesome though. We're getting on it.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm also excited for the next ESPN 30 for 30 that is going to be coming out.
Which is?
It's called Long Gone Summer. And it is about Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa as they are racing, or they're battling to see who can hit the most home runs in the season. They're going back and forth. I believe they both hit like 60 some. I'm not 100% sure. So don't get mad at me if I was wrong. But it's basically going to be an in-depth of their rivalry, the Cubs and the Cardinals. This clip's had Sosa at 55 and Mark McGwire at 54, but they're going back and forth, and I love to see juiced up players hit baseballs. It's awesome.
Who do you think won that?
What do you mean?
Like the race?
Between the two of them?
Yeah.
I think it went back and forth.
But like, who would you declare the winner of it today, in your opinion?
Who do you think is sought better is seen better in the eyes of the American public? I don't know.
Sammy's probably seen better in the eyes of the American public, but I think Mark won it.
I think he still has jobs related to baseball.
Yeah.
But that may be his choice over Sammy's choice. I don't really know what both of them are doing right now. I think it crushed
Sammy. Have you seen him recently?
He's gone through
some changes,
some difficult times for sure. Yeah. We're about to see a lot of them. So
did the home run challenge or race turn Sammy Sosa into...
It took years off his life.
And pigment off his skin.
Yes, it did. I don't know that that's directly correlated. I don't really know.
He's a couple of shades lighter.
He definitely is. I don't know. I think he might have gotten... He
MJ'd? Or the disease?
I don't know. I don't want to be misquoted.
Reckless speculation. Come on.
I think
let it rip.
It was intentional.
It was intentional.
I think so.
Like a reverse spray tan.
Kind of, yeah. Depigmentation. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not liable, but we'll find out.
So now I want everybody's a bad guy.
I want everybody to watch the doc, and because we're definitely going to talk about it next Monday, because it comes out Sunday, and
I'll have more Sammy Sosa information then.
Yeah, the takes will be hot. The takes will be pumped up on steroids for HGH level takes.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I'm also excited. Sports are back. We touched on this.
Watched some this weekend.
Yeah, we watched a lot of UFC.
Indeed. What'd you think?
Every time I actually sit down and pay attention to UFC when it's on, I always enjoy it. But I do think that there were some great knockouts this weekend that haven't been quite as present lately. And obviously Amanda Nunes is a fucking beast.
She had one of the few entertaining fights that was on the ground some. I typically don't like that style, but she can make it entertaining. And I think it was partially on the other girl for taking such a beating.
I don't know
sticking
her
with
name,
it.
but she is tough as fucking nails.
Yeah, absolutely.
She complimented her, and Nunes like put the belt on her after the fight was over, which like shows you amount of respect.
Nunez is the GOAT. Absolutely.
She's
Class.
she's champ.
Ability. Wow.
She's ground and pound. She's got power. She's also has longevity.
Mm-hmm.
That fight was super fun to watch. And then the Sean O'Malley fight.
The Joker looking dude.
Yeah, he was the one with the rainbow fro that was put into cornrows.
Yes.
He's 12-0 now.
Mm-hmm.
And he fucking packs a punch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That right to whoever he was fighting. I'm so bad with names. Even if I followed UFC closely, I still wouldn't be able to remember the names. But that was electric.
I don't know how his nickname's not the Joker.
It might be. He's pretty new.
That's fair.
I mean, 12-0 is not that many fights.
Yeah.
And he was kind of the beginning of the main card.
And he bopped that man and just pulled his hand back all fancy and just tiptoed away.
Yeah, just walked off like, yeah, he's dead. Like, I just murdered him.
What a finesse punch, yeah.
Yeah. It was perfectly landed, too. He gave a little hezzy hey
Mm-hmm.
and then just landed one. It's what his punch was exactly how every person pictures themselves in a fight. That's exactly how, if you're like, oh, I'm in a bar fight, this is exactly how I'm going to just one punch this guy and knock him the fuck out. Except you don't do that. You try to swing some wide haymaker and you get tackled, and then it's a scrum on the ground, and then you just get kicked out of the bar.
What's your bar fight strategy?
Headbutt on the bridge of the nose. Knock him out cold.
That was
one
so
move.
quick.
Yep.
You're an absolute maniac.
Hey, one move, intimidating. You have to go all out, otherwise it'll fail.
Yeah.
But like if you do it properly, down. Nobody's recovering from that.
Interesting.
And I have a little bit of height on most people, so
That's fair.
I can come down with a good headbutt.
Mine's take off my pants.
Oh, another good one.
Mhm.
Mine is also, my main go-to is just, like wave in all my big friends.
Mm.
All my friends who are like, bigger than me, strong, like to fight, or like good wrestlers, or just like if I have 20 friends there, just get all of them. I think that's a classic move. I almost got in a fight with this was like junior year. This guy, which he kind of did it to me. I was walking through like a crowded bar and he like shoved me. And I just turned around. I was like, what the fuck, man? And he kind of mouthed off, and I was like, all right, we can just fucking do this. Cause I was right next to maybe 35 friends. That was when we were going to piano and just brought the house. And he was like, okay, hold on a second. And just tapped on his buddy's shoulder, who was 6'8". And was like, you guys fight. And I'm like, well, this is fucked, but all right, whatever, let's go. And
Pulling in the ringer.
yeah. Well, then about that time, Paul and everybody behind me all noticed, because I was like 10 feet away from where we all were, and we had a whole section. And then I just had like 25 guys behind me, and he was like, I'm good, man. I don't want to do this.
Sorry.
And I was like, that's what I thought. Just walked off.
You're the worst.
He ended up buying me shots. I swear to God, that 6'8" guy ended up buying me shots later that night. It was just this is how it works. It's all about who you know, not what you know. If I knew Dana White, I'd be the greatest fighter in the world, because he would just give me the belt. But I don't know him.
What a take. Okay. I'm glad that's on record. You wouldn't have as many people to compete with because Conor McGregor retired.
It's true. We were definitely not the same weight class. He could maybe come up to me, but I don't know if I could get down to him. I don't want to fight him.
Would you
Put
beat
that
him
on the
in a
record.
bar brawl?
No,
How
he's
many
on
friends do you
record.
need?
He's on record of winning a lot of bar brawls,
How many friends?
especially
do you need?
against old men.
How many friends?
Does he have friends, or is it
No.
just him?
Just him.
40. I mean,
Some of your friends are going to be very insulted by that.
I'm just saying he can one punch 10 people. And then, so like, that's already 25% out. Like it's numbers.
Fair point.
He's done. This is classic Conor McGregor. It's like
Who
the third
knows?
time he's retired.
Yeah.
And guess what he did? Right after there was a lot of hype, the UFC had a big weekend. He's trying to figure out who's going to fight next. He doesn't know. So what's he the best at in the fight game? Promoting fucking fights. He's just going back. This is a Old Faithful. This is the old play he always pulls out right before he's about to have a big fight.
PR.
He got how
you
many?
can skip a rotation. You don't have to like fight somebody like, coming up.
Yeah, this is the classic boxer / UFC fighter. Like, you can just retire between every fight. You're basically retired.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you're just going until you want to stop, and then when you want to stop, they're like, "Hey, Floyd, we're gonna pay you $600 million to fight Conor McGregor," and he's like, "Okay,
Right. I'll go back to work, I guess.
yeah, I'm at 4% body fat. I guess I'll get back down to 1%."
He wants the PR, the good publicity. I think that he wants to take a little break from it. Also, Khabib and some other dude in that weight class are like scheduled to fight. And he wants the Khabib fight.
Tony Ferguson.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
That might be right. But who knows?
Because Tony likes to talk like he's Conor, like he thinks he's really good at like promoting fights and
Right.
stuff, but he's not as good. He's a good fighter, but he's not as good at PR as Conor.
He's a lot uglier. I think that has
He's got the cauliflower ears
Yeah.
bad.
has a factor. People
Yeah.
don't like looking at that man. None of those people are like the face of anything. You get like look at it in any sport. That is like a death sentence in the PR world.
It's true.
It's wild.
Yeah. You just gotta, it's like a first impressions are everything.
Yeah.
So let's move on from UFC and let's get into the meat and potatoes of the NBA
hmm
is finally coming back.
I'm so excited.
I can
I'm really
hear
trying
it
to
in your
keep
voice.
it in. We'll see what happens when it starts. And I am a little bit skeptical just because what happens if Giannis gets it? If he gets COVID?
He's out.
Goodbye. Goodbye playoff hopes.
Yeah.
So, there is still
The thing, there's so much, like if he were to get it, it would be because there's 8 weeks of training camp. I think they go back like really soon. It's like they start pretty soon. I guess maybe not 8 weeks, 6 weeks of training camp. So he would have enough time to self-isolate and come back. Now he would not be the Giannis that we know and love.
I'm saying they get to Orlando and he gets it at that point.
Yeah, they aren't doing training camp in Orlando.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they're all going in like self-isolating. They get to bring some members of their family and they go in there and they get tested to go in. And then they're on the Universal Studios, like resort grounds.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not an expert.
It's very true.
I'm a guy who pretends to be.
So just to break it down,
Correct.
to give some
Context.
context. So the NBA is coming back. They've stated that the season will start. I'm not going to call it the regular season because it's not, but the season will start July 31st. It is 22 teams. It is 13 Western Conference teams and 9 Eastern Conference teams. They'll have 8 regular season games.
The teams were determined based upon how close you were to the playoff.
And if you
to the
had
eighth
Zion
seed.
Williamson on your team.
No,
The Pelicans are like 5 games out, 6 games out.
that's sneaky of them in this graphic then to put them at 10.
I'm pretty sure they're a ways out.
Interesting.
But so there is a rule.
I mean, he didn't play most of the season.
So there is a rule of if the 9 seed is within 4 games of the 8 seed, they have a special play in.
Correct.
And the 9 seed has to beat the 8 seed twice. And if the 8 seed wins once, they move on. So it's a 2-game series. And if the 8 seed wins one of those 2 games, they move on. And if the 9 seed wins both of those games, they move on.
I don't love that.
It's the Zion rule. It's can the Pelicans get within 4 so then we can get Zion in so then we can put a million Zion things on ESPN. It's not the most fair, that's for sure. But and they kind of did it like a loop around. Like they're not going to straight up tell you that's what they're doing, but like that's what they're doing.
You were talking about this as the meat and potatoes earlier.
Yes.
I feel like that does not necessarily change the dish. It changes some of the garnish or the way that it's prepared. Like I feel like
this is adding peas to it.
the extra important, gripping, compelling parts of the playoffs.
Oh, it's not taking
gonna be
away from the
changed.
Lakers and the Bucks and the Clippers like the three best teams. It's not taking away from that, and
Yeah.
it's definitely not taken away from me watching a fuck ton of NBA.
Mhm.
Like I'm not complaining. I'm just saying like they weren't really open about it, but like why did the Western Conference get 13 teams? I guess I don't know the records right off the top of my head, but it seemed like instead of just going like 8 teams, or 9 teams, and then, the 9 and 8 seed play to see who gets in, they were like, well, we'll give a little bit of leniency over here.
I mean, those teams are just so bad. They just
Yeah.
had no chance on the Eastern
I'm
Conference.
so happy
to
the
catch up.
Warriors did not make the cut.
Then we would have been talking about exception rules.
Then it would have been, because like especially with, there'd be some like, oh, do you try to risk all these guys getting back? Then like if everybody did come back, like, wow, Steph's just magically perfectly healthy now. His wrist isn't bothering him.
Anybody would do it. I mean, we've already seen it with the Nets and Kyrie and KD and saying,
Yeah,
no more. So
I
think
definitely think they should not play either of them.
We'll see.
Yeah, but
how much will Boogie be back? He's had
I
a
have
little bit extra time.
No clue his recovery time of anything. He seems like he hasn't played basketball in forever.
He's on top of his Twitter game though.
Oh, facts. He's on a revenge tour. So we get those 8 regular season games, which are basically, they're just going to play NBA all day for like 8 days in a row, I believe. I don't know, something like that. Like they're just going to be, there's no fans, but it's basically going to be like scrimmages. Like there's going to be kind of tight courts. Who is the best scrimmage player in the NBA? Hoodie Melo. Do you think Melo's going to fucking go off now that it's like, oh, no fans around? Because you always see those hype videos in the summer where they're in there playing 5-on-5 and he's just draining threes.
That's a good point.
Do you think he's going to go off? This is like his perfect environment. Like this is basically like basketball in a test tube.
Yeah.
And like that's Melo's playground.
I don't know. That's a good question. That is something that I
think he's
going to
have at least one like 25-5 game.
I mean, think about Dwight Howard at the line. Like they said, whenever he's in the
Depth
gym
perception.
shooting, he's like great.
Yeah, no fans without that pressure. There's also the players that play up to pressure. So I feel, or like play up to like the fan atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like I feel, I don't know, like
the first turnaround and arms waving up, trying to get the crowd pumped up is
like
gonna be
Russell
hilarious.
Westbrook. I feel like he's a guy who, after a huge dunk, plays off the fans and the crowd reaction, and it's just like now it's just going to be like a stiff rim and just like dead silence around it. He's just like hitting that, or the first brick shot. I think they're going to be pumping in fan noise and stuff and music, but like if there's that first brick that just hits cold off the rim.
I was like, I didn't think the Thunder made the playoffs, but then I forgot he's
on the Rockets.
Goodness gracious.
It's crazy. That's another thing is I'm going to have to go through and just like familiarize myself again.
Well, they also updated those rules. The free agency rules open up on the 22nd, I believe, and anybody can sign people.
Fuck yeah, they can.
And so, I was thinking if the season's short and anybody can sign people, and a lot of times people will like fill a playoff need later on, or, sign a short contract or whatever, just to like add some extra depth if somebody gets hurt. What if teams who like have a couple extra slots just start picking people up on free agency, just like spite buys?
Yeah, like fuck you.
Yeah.
You can't have them.
Yeah, a little 3D chess.
I'd love to see it.
Me too.
I would love to see it.
All of a sudden, the Hornets have 4 new team members.
Yeah, it's like
you don't even need to show up. Just stay home.
MJ is like, well, I took that personally.
Yeah.
Just really going after people. He's not the greatest GM or owner, whatever he is. He's the owner, but I don't know if
he's not the GOAT GM. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Who is the GOAT GM? I don't know.
The logo.
Jerry West.
Yeah, he's probably up there.
He's pretty good. Yeah, who's the Celtics?
Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge getting all those picks for the washed big three. That's goat moves. Oh, Pat Riley.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
he's good. Good coach too.
Mm-hmm.
So
does Pop have GM? It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Definitely not Phil Jackson. He was not a
Nope.
very good GM. So, do you want to make some predictions?
Yeah, sure. Give me the odds and
Like to win it all.
to win it all.
Okay.
And then do you have seeding odds? What all do you have?
No, I just have the odds to win it all. You got Bucks at plus 240, Lakers at plus 270, Clippers at plus 340, Rockets plus 1200, Celtics plus 2000, Raptors plus 2400, and Nuggets plus 2500. Heat plus 2700. Everything after that, I mean, it just keeps going up.
Yeah.
Wizards are at the very end plus 25,000. That's an interesting bet.
If this turned into like March Madness of some sort,
That would be
wow.
crazy if they switch it to just like, if they were really in a time crunch and they're like, we can't do the 7-game series,
Single elimination.
single elimination NBA tournament, then that would be.
Bradley Beal just has the best week of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, for example, Melo just goes off and has
Yeah.
like 34-9 one game, like just
Who knows?
goes off. Do you want to make a friendly wager?
I mean, I think the Bucks will win. So is
Okay.
that what you're
Do you
trying to-
want? Let's do pick your two teams, and your winner, and then how many games,
Oh,
and then how many games, and then whoever gets the closest will be the winner. Obviously, whoever picks. I don't think I'm going to pick the same team as you. So
I think it'll be Bucks, Clippers, Bucks, and 7.
I'm gonna go Bucks, Lakers in 6.
We'll see who's wrong and who's wrong.
Yeah, that would really suck if we're both just way off.
Typically, that's how it works out. You know,
I guess, yeah. So who's even the second seed? Oh, the Raptors. If it was like Raptors Nuggets,
oh my God, Celtics, Rockets.
that would be very interesting. I would still watch the absolute fuck out of it.
I mean, I'm gonna be all eyes glued whenever it's Pelican Heat finals.
Yeah. I think you got J Butt versus Zion.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. I haven't seen Zion in forever. Has he put on weight?
That's honestly why I didn't put the Lakers up there, is because I don't trust like Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Kyle Kuzma to like actually stay in shape over this time. Where, you know who I do trust?
Kuz-
Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Pat Beverly.
Kyle Kuzma's out there chasing pussy. He is 100% staying in shape.
Instagram shape, NBA game shape.
Oh, you talking fake muscles?
Yeah,
We talking fake muscles?
curls are for the girls, baby. Yep.
It is beach season. Okay. No, I think this is gonna be interesting, and
We'll see.
I'm happy that the playoffs. I'm glad they didn't touch those at all. It's still 7-game series. It's still traditional playoffs, and I actually I was talking about 2-3 weeks ago when Mark Cuban. I watched that, or I listened to that interview of him, and he was like, "Yep, starts up in July. Try to get it over with by October, so that we can have the draft in the off season." So October 12th will be the last day of the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 15th is the draft.
And then I think December 1st is when they're trying to restart.
I think so. Sometime mid-December, late December. Definitely before Christmas, which will be good. It's going to be perfect. Think about NBA starting up with bowl season.
Wow.
Sports for the next we've taken a beating over these last 3 months. But sports for the next year, starting July 31st, are going to be some of the best sports we've ever experienced in our whole entire lives. Maybe not quality-wise, but definitely quantity-wise. And I think people are going to come back hungrier than ever before.
Barring a second wave of COVID, and even if a second wave just like move this back a bit, but we're really gearing up for like a fantastic time. Like this Christmas, this bowl season. Wow. Like we've just been so starved for interaction.
We will go almost a full year with at least 2 major sports going.
Yeah. It's going to be
Like we won't have that summer slump of the late June, July, August of just baseball. Like we're not going to get that. It's just going to be sports.
It's going to be an exciting time.
Sports.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
That's right. All right, that wrap it up for this week.
It's all the sports I got, though.
Sports. Thanks for listening, guys. Really appreciate it. I think we're going to ramp up. It's time for us to kick it back in gear.
Everything's kicking back in gear. I honestly, you just saying that, I'm just thinking of how awesome, like
the takes. I can feel the takes. They're on my fingertips.
Oh man.
Oh, it's a spicy take. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Love you guys. Sneak out.